I'm back with another album review. It's been a while since the last time I did an album review, and it's been nearly 2 years since the last time I reviewed anything from Rise Against. If you've been watching my album review series for a while, you may remember that my first 10 reviews were on the material from Rise Against. And today I'm going to be reviewing Nowhere Generation. Now, this is the 9th studio album from Rise Against, and it's essentially a follow-up to Wolves from 2017. It was a follow-up to The Ghost Note Symphonies, Volume 1, 2018. It was recorded at the Blasting Room in Fort Collins, Colorado, which is where most material from Rise Against was recorded. So like in most of their albums, it was produced by Bill Stevenson and Jason Livermore, and Jason did the mixing. However, they got help from Chris Beeble and Andrew Berlin, who also helped produce Ghost Note Symphonies Volume 1. As usual, Tim McIlrath wrote the lyrics to all the songs by himself. Don't know exactly when the album was recorded, but if anyone knows, let me know in the comments. This album was released on June 4th, 2021 under Loma Vista Recordings and was distributed by Concord. So it's been out for a week at the time of me making this video. Of course, Loma Vista is the same record label that released Amends from Grey Days. Now, Marilyn Manson also used to be with that label, but was dropped from that label this year. Not going to go into detail about that, but you can read about that on Loudwire. Anyways, May of 2019 was when Tim McIlrath said in an interview with Kerrang that Rise Against were working on new material. But he took a more relaxed approach while he was writing the songs. He also said that the band doesn't like to feel rushed, that the album would be released when it's done without reaching a certain deadline. Tim was later interviewed on Danny Wilmer Presents back in July of 2020, where he stated that the band wasn't going anywhere and they have new music. He also stated that this was a new beginning for the band. February 23rd, 2021 was when Rise Against started posting cryptic videos on social media. These videos led people to their website, which was updated with a brand new aesthetic. Rise Against kept posting until the album was announced on March 18th, 2021. They had outlined themes and messages behind this album in a press release. They say that, quote, "Today there is the promise of the American dream, that there is the reality of the American dream. America's historical norm that the next generation will be better off than the one that came before has been diminished by an era of mass social, economic, and political instability and a sellout of the middle class. The brass ring that was promised by hard work and dedication no longer exists to everyone. When the privileged climb the ladder of success and then burn it up and burn it from the top, destruction becomes the only answer. I'm very sure this is a way for the band to call out the conservative shitheads and the corporate pigs that keep fucking up America beyond belief." I also read that bassist Joe Prinsep referred to Bill Stevenson as the band's not-so-secret weapon because he helped to shape the band, and he gets what they want to do. And will go with them when they think outside the box. He also said that Bill is perfect for their style. I do agree with that statement since I've been listening to Rise Against since I was in high school, and I still listen to them every now and then. Now it's time to talk about the songs. This album starts with The Numbers, which was released as a single on May 6, 2021, which was less than a month before the album was released. The song is meant to remind people about how much power they have. It also reminds people that people who are in power rely on people falling in line and approving of what they do. I think this is a great song and starts the album off perfectly. There's also a music video made for the song. It's going to be a link to it in the description. Up next is Sudden Urge. When I read that this song questions if the system can be reformed, or if it should be torn down and rebuilt. Tim McIlrath said in an interview with Apple Music that the song is about days where you feel that you need to burn it down. Personally, I think the song fits in perfectly with the album's political themes. The next song is Nowhere Generation, which obviously shares the same name as the album. It's actually the second single from this album, and the single was released on March 18th, 2021, which was actually the day the album was announced. Tim said that this song came from conversations with the their community. He said that people are existing in a society where it's hard to get ahead. He also stated that he grew up back when a single-income family could live a middle-class lifestyle, and nowadays someone could work full-time and still be living in poverty. I personally think this is the best song on this album. I'm going to post a link to the music video in the description. As an added bonus, Chris Beeble plays the organ and performs backing vocals on the song. It also features Adrian Ash, Andrew Berlin, Gabriel Brady, Chantal Flowers, Sam Cantor, Alexa Leonard, Jonathan Lingenville, Chad Price, Bill Stevenson, Madeline Stevenson, Miles Stevenson, and Stacey Stevenson performing backing vocals. We followed up with Talking to Ourselves. This was the fourth single from this album, and the single was released on June 1st, 2021, which was 3 days before the album. Right on line that Tim said the song is about that feeling where you're trying to shake someone awake when they're not listening. He also mentioned that Rise Against never thought about themselves as being radical or controversial, that they're instead trying to say things that make sense to them. I'm also going to post a link to the video in the description. That's followed up by Broken Dreams Incorporated. So it's the first single from this album. It was released on September 16th, 2020, which was 6 months before the album was even announced. Tim said that this song is about changing the landscape of labor and how it's affecting people. He also pointed out that technology is making people's lives better by erasing dangerous jobs. And there's a downside to this because it's also eliminating jobs altogether. Of course, my friends and family know that I am against automation and believe that automating jobs is a terrible idea. I'm also posting a link to the music video in the description. What's really awesome is that the song is included on the Dark Knight's death metal soundtrack. Followed up with an acoustic song called Forfeit. Tid did mention that the song is not about surrendering despite its title. He also mentioned that it's about commitment and knowing that someone needs your help. The song also features TJ Wessel on the violin and John Paul Grigsby on the upright bass. The next song is called Monarch. Tim said that the song has a double meaning, that the song is about talking to someone with complete control over you. Now you've listened to them for too long, and you realize that you don't need them anymore. The second meaning is where someone becomes different, and that the person in question is compared to a monarch butterfly. I would go as far as to call this one of my favorite songs on the album. Followed up with Sounds Like, to mention that the song is about living in the moment while embracing the time that you're currently living in, and are not waiting for something to happen. He also mentioned that you don't need to waste time waiting for something that may or may not happen. Followed by Sooner or Later. Tim said the song is about how the things you do have consequences. He also mentioned that bad things happen if you don't plan for the future and have a short-term attitude. Yeah, he even mentioned that there's environmental imagery in the song. You just have to listen to it for yourself to picture it. After that is Middle of a Dream. Tim said that the song is about the chase that we all feel sometimes, meaning we sometimes know what we're chasing and other times we don't. He also mentioned that you have the compulsion to move forward. This album ends with The Rules of Play. Tim said that he likes how this song is the last one on the album. He's coming at the listener with all these lyrics. He also said the song reminds the listener that he doesn't have everything figured out, and that some of the songs are questions about what the world looks like, and what we want it to look like, and how we can get there. Personally, I think this is the perfect song to end the album with. And I'd go as far as to call it one of the best songs on this album. From what I read is that this album was met with mostly positive reviews from critics, and rightfully so. In fact, it currently has a 75 on Metacritic at the time of me making this review. As for my opinion on it, I personally think this is an amazing album. So much so that I'd call it one of the best albums from Rise Against. Yeah. Well, just may consider it to be their best work yet, since there isn't a single song that I can skip because of how well the album is. Just might consider this to be their best work yet, since there isn't a single song that I can skip because of how well made the album is. I go as far as to call it one of the best albums of the year. I would even say that it's right up there with the new Weezer albums and the new Foo Fighters album, perhaps even better than them. I can guarantee that this will end up on my list of the best albums of 2021. I definitely recommend this album. Mentioned in that description will have links to the music videos that were made for some of the songs. You can check that out if you'd like. And recommend subscribing to Rise Against YouTube channel. Also including a link to my album review playlist. You don't have to watch all the reviews, but if you don't have to, you don't have to watch all the reviews if you don't have to. But it would help if you at least watch a few of them. Now, as far as why I question you, have you listened to Nowhere Generation? If so, what are your thoughts on it? What's your favorite song from it? I think this is one of the best albums from Rise Against. What are you expecting from Rise Against moving forward? And let me know in the comments. If you like the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to hit the notification bell to be notified of future uploads. And thanks for watching. I'll be back soon with another video.